internally displaced peoples, and they're not being protected by the United Nations because they don't have any systems in place so that these internally displaced peoples can be recognised as refugees. So the United Nations really needs to recognise cultural genocide. It doesn't. That's a start. The government of India, I have a little confidence that they will understand the necessity that this issue is resolved for Kashmir Pandits this generation within 10 years, within the next few years, the sooner the better. But if it doesn't get solved, it's going to actually be on the BJP's head because they are in power now. And now everybody knows about it. They're going to be expecting the government of India to do something. And all of us that know about it, the pressure will come from outside now because the West will finally, the penny will finally drop among the West because nobody knows about this. All they read about is propaganda that's been pushed out by separatist apologists. So there's just, there's nothing there. And I think it's a way for the government of India to redeem itself in a way, because as a whole, not party-wise, but as a whole, the government of India haven't done enough. And I think everybody knows that, but not only the government of India, but also other Hindus. They didn't know about this story. And even when we had people selectively shot in December, I would see tweets of people saying, well, why didn't they pick up guns? Why didn't they do something themselves to protect themselves? Why do they call themselves Pandits? Well, what right do they have to even ask those questions when for 30 years they've been ignoring this? So now they know, the Hindus of India know what has been ignored, what has not been taught in schools, what their parents didn't tell them, what they didn't find out for themselves, because I had to find out for myself. I had to do that inquiry. Nobody had to push me. Nobody gave me a film to watch. I had to go and find out for myself because I cared. And I think that people need to care. And when it happens to you, it's another matter. When it happens to someone else, it's another matter. It's not their problem. Well, it is your problem, because if you don't do something about this now, how are you going to stop it from happening to you or your children or your children's children? Like, this is a problem that's been going on for centuries in India. And I think it starts, the government needs to do something, but the perpetrator class needs to do something. Every year we have Invasion Day here, and hundreds of thousands of white Australians march alongside Indigenous Australians to actually recognise that this country was never, the sovereignty of this country was never ceded, and we stand in solidarity with them. Now, that's what Muslims need to do with Hindus. When it comes to issues where they have been the perpetrators, Muslims need to stand in solidarity with Hindus and apologise for what they've done and stop pretending that it didn't happen. Because if it doesn't, if there's no recognition of a problem, no change is ever going to come. So that's what young Muslims need to do now. They need to recognise that, like young Australians did. The older people may never change. The older community may never change because they're stuck in their ways. But the young community, they know what's right. They know what's right. They know what the right side of history is. So it's up to the youth, the Muslim youth of India, to stand with their Hindu brothers and sisters. Not to do all this, no more agitations. These agitations, they end up leading to these incidents. If you look at history, it's happened over and over and over again. These agitations between Hindus and Muslims, they should stop. Anyway, that's my comment on it.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.